Now, as coaches, like a sort of a simple job description is that it's our job to help people get more out of themselves and get more out of their lives. Right? That's it. That's why you hire a coach. If you're an athlete, you hire a coach to get more out of you. If you're in business, you hire a coach to get more out of you in business. Right? And as a life coach, you want to get more out of life, more out of yourself, more out of life. Now, part of that as a transformative coach, as a principles-based coach, as an inside-out coach, is there's an educational element to that, because most people don't understand a few basic truths about life that really mess you up when you don't understand them, like where your experience comes from. That's kind of good to know. Most people don't know that, right? It's kind of good to know if you want to go out and do things in the world that you are part of divine intelligence. Like, that's useful to know, right? It's useful to know you're not in charge, and that's why you have so much trouble being in charge. Like, it's not you, it's just not your job. It's not what you it's not how it works. That's good to know. And so there's an education part to being a transformative coach, to helping people get more out of themselves, to get more out of their lives. There's also I guess I would call it this, a modeling part. Because whether you like it or not, people pay attention to how you live your life. Now, in transformative coaching, that's a very different thing than in Tony Robbins coaching. And I'm using Tony as a catch-all, right, for a certain type of presentation, how I want to be seen in the world, who I want to be in the world kind of coaching, where I have to be the person who is, right? And the problem with that is, A, nobody's like that, right? So you're basically creating a job description as either a liar or a failure, right? Which is kind of a crap job to take on. It's like, who shall I be today? A liar or a failure? I don't know. I want to have integrity. I'll be a failure. Fuck integrity. I want to look good. I'm going to be a liar. It's not a great job description. But see, our job is to be human, right? So when I say we're there to model, it's not that we're modeling anything other than being human. Than being spiritual beings having a human experience, than being exactly who we are and being as comfortable as we are when we're comfortable, and as insecure as we are when we're insecure, and as vulnerable as we are when we're vulnerable, and as confident as we are when we're confident. That's it. There's a very powerful modeling, because people don't know that it's okay to be human, because there's so much noise out there telling them that it isn't, right? Probably not something you want to be part of, like probably not the message you want to put forward if you really want to help people get more out of themselves and more out of their lives. Because A, it's not true, and B, it makes things so much harder. It takes so much work to be full of shit. Right? You'd think it would be easier. Right? On the surface it should be easier, right? Yeah, I'm a pilot. Right? Look, no effort at all. But actually, the way that we want to be full of shit, the way that we want to pretend we have it all together when we don't, the way we want to pretend that everything goes our way when sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it doesn't, the way we want to pretend that we're always happy when sometimes we are, sometimes we're not, the way we want to pretend that we've got it all together when sometimes we do, and sometimes we really don't. That's exhausting. And it doesn't just exhaust you, it exhausts your clients. And when they see that you're human and your head doesn't explode and you still are okay, it gives a certain permission for them to be human too. And it's not a tactic, right? It's not, I shall tell a story revealing my vulnerability so my client will feel open and vulnerable so I can help them, but really I'm amazing. Right? It's not a trick, right? It's who we are. It's just who we are. How do you do it? How do I get my clients to think I like them? I don't know, like them. I don't know, might work, might not. So that's what we're about. That's what we have on offer. There's an education aspect to this. There's an educational aspect. Teaching people about how the mind works, how the world works. And there's a modeling, but you can't show what you can't see. You can't share what you don't have. And that's why our time together, we keep coming back to grounding. We keep coming back to our foundation. We keep coming back to what we see and what we could see more of. Because ultimately, that's what we have to offer.